Hey girl, hey, welcome back to Robyn Scherer Photography. Today we're going to talk about prime lenses and zoom lenses. And I have some screenshots up here that I will include at the end of the video, but I thought it'd be easier to read through these and add them in than to try and memorize them all. So I shoot with a prime lens and a zoom lens at my sessions. So zoom lens has a range of focal lengths. It allows you to get closer and wider shots of a scene by turning the zoom ring. Zoom lenses are useful when you can't control the scene or you can't use your feet to get in and get close. A prime lens, known as a fixed focal length, I use a 50mm as my workhorse, has a single focal length and it does not zoom in or out. You have to use your feet for that, which actually allows you to get creative. Prime lenses are often smaller, lighter than zoom lenses because they don't have a lot of moving parts. They're known for their superior image quality, sharpness, and wide apertures. As you can see here, prime lenses are popular for portrait, street, and low light photography. You know my work. I use it for portrait photography and families. So I will attach that at the end. Here are some differences in the prime and zoom lenses. Prime lenses generally have better optical performance than zoom lenses. Aperture. Prime lenses normally have faster aperture values, which allows more light and allows you to freeze motion better. Distortion. Prime lenses have less distortion than zoom because they have fewer moving parts. Price. Prime lenses are usually more expensive. I love my Sigma 50mm. Composition. Prime lenses encourage you to move around and find the best angle. Again, it allows for you to get super creative because you can't stand in one place and use your zoom. So with that being said, I will attach that to the end in bullet points, but I wanted to do that pretty accurately without trying to memorize it all. Anyways, so this particular shoot, I am using my 50mm. You can see it here in your histogram. So I use my 50mm as a workhorse. I love the sharpness and accuracy of it. I use my feet to zoom in or zoom out. If I kind of rotate through these images, it's just really sharp. It's beautiful. I love it. It's taking a second to pop in there. See how sharp that is? Yeah, it's just the 50mm a workhorse for me. I love it. So I use my 50mm for the majority of the shoot. And then there's moments when I use a zoom lens with the compression that makes for a really beautiful bokeh or a beautiful dreamy backscape. So I'll pop over into that gallery. So here you can see I've added this foreground, middle ground, background. It really kind of blurs out the background. I really love the feeling of the zoom. Let me get back in here. Oh, here we go. And then I added some foreground, middle, background. It really tries to meld out the background. I have a couple other here with the compression zoom lens. Again, you're seeing, see how it just makes the background really dreamy when you have the zoom lens. The 70 to 200 is what I use. And it really just blends out that background and just really makes her pop. Another example is here, my zoom lens. You can see here, again, kind of the same area. And especially when the sun's out, you just get that beautiful bokeh, buttery, dreamy backscape. So I do love my zoom lens 7200 for that. And you can see here I was at 105. 105 is a beautiful length for doing a beautiful portrait. And again, I have foreground, middle ground to make her pop, background. So yeah, prime lenses and zoom lenses definitely have their use and can definitely change the look of your gallery. I really enjoy incorporating both. I feel like it makes for a very well-rounded gallery. So that's how I use my 50mm and my zoom lens. So I'll pop into here really quick and I will add one other thing. If you were to use a 35 millimeter, going back to my 50 here, so with my 50, you can see I have, if I undo the cropping, you can see, if I reset it, you can see how much of the landscape I got with my 50. With a 35, you're going to get even more of the landscape. So if you're in an area and let's say you're doing a family session and you want to capture the beautiful landscape you're in and you want to utilize negative space where your family's kind of a little prop to the landscape, your 35 millimeter is going to be great for that. And then if you are shooting with two cameras like I do, you can use your 50 or a zoom lens to focus on the family and have the back, the scenery kind of be a blurry backscape. And then you're just focusing on the family. But if you want to really focus on the landscape, a 35 millimeter or a 50 millimeter lens will do the trick for that. So if I go back in here and crop her to an 8x10, and again, I was putting her on the rule of thirds here so I could get this beautiful sunlight in. We just had a very beautiful evening of a beautiful sunset evening here. So yeah, so that's what we're doing with focal lengths, prime lenses. I will say the 35 and 50 incorporate the landscape more. A zoom lens, my 70-200 works beautifully. If you wanted to get a prime lens for portraits, the 105 millimeter is beautiful. And that is actually why, was it this one? I did, let's get into my chosen ones here. I specifically put my zoom, it wasn't by happenstance. I looked down at my zoom and I purposely dialed it into 105 because I know that that gives me a beautiful dreamy bokeh background and makes her pop. So if you don't want to purchase the 105 prime, you can just dial that in into your zoom lens if it goes that far and purposely get this kind of dreamy background. So that is it for what I'm going to say about prime lenses and zoom lenses. I will, while I have you, talk about one thing here, and I'm going to reset this particular image, and I'm going to go down and pop on my regular preset, and then I'm going to check her skin tone here. So you should have an RGB of 76, 65, 55. So we're off. So what I'm going to do is you can use the eyedropper to get this white balance proper by using the whites of her eye or her teeth. And now you can see it's a lot more normal. I'm going to go ahead and crop it to an 8x10. This is just a little bonus I'm going to show you with what's new in Lightroom. So I like a warmer image. I'm going to warm her up. And now I'm going to check her skin tone. Again, you should have 75, 65, 55. So we're closer here. It's saying with that 60 that we're a bit too warm. So I'll bring it down a smidge, bring down the pink a smidge, 75, 65, 62. If we go over here to a mid-tone, we're still missing, we're a lot closer here in this mid-tone, 72, 65, 57. I feel like her skin is creamy enough for what I'm doing with you right now. And I can use the luminance here to warm up her skin a little bit. But what I wanted to show you is this newer feature, the adaptive portrait. Now, I have used none of my brushes to clean up her skin. She has beautiful skin. She had just a tiny bit of blemishes. And so I'll use the remover, spot remover. I'm not using the generative AI. It's not really necessary here for the quick spots. So we took care of that. Now, the newer adaptive portrait here, if you go into smooth facial skin, it takes a second. However, it does a beautiful job. If you hit your backslash, before, after, you can see what a beautiful job it's done. You can also do enhances eyes. One click, beautiful. So you have before or after. Now, if you want to adjust these, say you wanted the skin smoother, go into masking. If you roll over her face, what's been done will show up. I'm going to grab that. It'll show you exactly what it shows. I can go in here and I can grab whatever brush I've made. So it won't let you increase what it's done with theirs, but I can choose a brush I already have and I can increase it right here. And I can grab her eyes and I can increase it there. So actually you can, I lied. You actually can increase what's already been done. So before, after, I'm going to zoom out. So even with the textured hair, see that? Beautiful. Before, after. So one click. And again, let's say we thought that was too much. Go into masking, zoom over, roll over. It'll show you what it's chosen. Now you can see the exposure is up to 12. Pull it down. You can pull it down. The blacks, you can pull them up. Shadows, you can pull them down. You can just soften the effect by adjusting what was adjusted here. So again, but you can do like one click. Let's say you want to adjust enhance close. So before, after, before, after. So that backslash is very helpful to make sure you're not making crazy adjustments. So that's talk about prime lenses, focal lengths, some examples. I just did a quick hit on the new one-click adjustments here. I actually will do another video going into more detail with those. But click subscribe. I would love for you to follow me. I would love for you to let me know what your favorite adjustments in Lightroom are. If you have any thing you want me to do a video on, I'd be happy to do that. I would love for you to watch any of the other videos I have. I have them on skin tone, cropping, removing objects, so many good things. Click subscribe. I'd love to see you on my channel, and have a great day. That's it for today. Take care.